If you are a parent and if you really want that your kids should speak fluent English without any kind of hesitation and nervousness, this video is for you. Hello friends, my name is Karishma. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today in this video, I am going to share a few tips which can help parents to make their kids fluent in English. Personally, I have two kids. You already know if you are my regular viewer. So my older one is 5.5 years old and he speaks fluent English now. He started speaking when he was only 3 years old. What I did, what are the strategies I have followed that time? This is what I'm gonna share in this video. So be in the video till the very end and watch the entire video, then only it will helpful for you. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So the very first and important point is that you should start practicing English with your kid as early as possible. See, there is no such proper age criteria that when you should start, but you can realize just by the behavior of your child whether he is able to understand or not. For example, I have my younger son, he is only 1 year old, 13 months is running. He is on the stage where he understands everything, whatever I am telling him. For example, if toys are on the floor and if I will ask him that please Priyansh give it to me, he comes and give it to me the toy. When I ask him that please put it in the box, he always does the same. So like this is how you should start talking to your kids in English at a very young age. Many parents make this mistake. They thought that once their kid will start understanding the language, then only we will start speaking and then we will do our possible efforts for him to learn English. And that time it will be very late. You know what, I have personally seen many kids like after the age of 8 or 9, they started feeling really hesitant. They feel like it is something very new and they don't feel comfortable at all. So what you have to do, you have to speak in English with your kids. You can start with the basic small sentences like throw the ball, kick the ball, give me the plate, pick up the toy, put it in the box. These are the very small sentences. Even if you don't know English, you can learn these kinds of sentences through YouTube channel. You can just search in the YouTube and you will find so many videos where you can see the translation of Hindi to English. You can learn those 10 to 12 sentences and you can start speaking or practicing with your kid. It will be really helpful for them. You know, if you will introduce this language at a very young age, kids feel very comfortable. They don't feel any kind of hesitation in their future life and it is very easy to understand at that age. But suddenly if you will introduce English like after 8 years or 9 years, they feel really hesitant because by that time they are like habitual of the environment. Everyone speaking mother tongue and they are very comfortable into that and they don't want to come out of that comfort zone. So it would be better if you want your child to speak fluent English, introduce English at the right time. That is the most important thing. Second thing you can do is story reading. Every kid want to listen story. This has happened with me as well. I'm telling you all these points through my personal experiences. When my Mitansh, my son, the older son, he was 2 years old and 2.5 years old, he started asking me that Mama please tell me a story. So I always create my own story, obviously because I was not at all good at that time. So I create story, motivational story, like 2 to 3 minutes of story in my mind and just start telling him in English language. That is the most important thing. Maybe initially they don't understand, but if you will keep practicing since the very young age, they will be able to understand many things. Like 70 or 80% they will understand by the time of they are listening the story. So like 2 to 3 years of age, you should start telling the story, bedtime story. We all parents do. My child is like 5.5 years old. Still he has this habit. He always asked me before sleeping that Mama please tell me a story, then only I'll go to sleep. So it's a burden for me every day, every time I need to learn a story and then I have to, tell him. So what am I doing these days? I'm just searching story on Google and whenever like written story, and so I just, read for him. So it is the best way. Even if the parent, you are not good with your English, you will also improve at the same time. This is with me. When I was learning English, I learn it with my son. Literally, like I feel so good. Now I'm sharing this with you and it's an amazing experience for me overall. So the story reading is really important. You should initiate this habit, you should inculcate this habit in their regular routine, and it is really good for them. Third and most important thing, instead of giving them any random cartoon, you should always make sure that what they should watch on TV. It was my habit, even now it is my habit, whenever I allow him to watch a TV for half an hour or 1 hour, I always make sure that he will going to watch that in English, whether it's a cartoon or any story or anything. Like, he has his specific cartoons like Peppa Pig. Peppa Pig comes in both the languages, in Hindi or in English, but kids especially, they want to watch that in Hindi language because that is very relatable, understandable. So they thought, okay, let's watch in Hindi. But you should have to encourage your kid that, okay, I will allow you only if you will watch it English. So at a very young age, when they don't understand the language, they only see pictures. At that time, you have to introduce it. Do not think that kid is not able to understand. Sometimes what happens, that parents thought, if I am not able to understand, how my kid will understand? Kids can learn English just by listening, even through TV. I have seen practical examples of that. Now I'm not going to share that, otherwise the video will get longer. So yeah, my third point is that you should always allow your kids to watch cartoons or stories or anything, but that must be in English language. Every cartoon which runs on the TV has 2, 3 or more, like 4 or 5 languages. It has shooted in the 4 or 5 languages. So you have this option that you can choose. For example, like the Chhota Bheem, that is also in Hindi, also in English. Or Gattu and Chinky, there is a channel. It's a story channel. It's an amazing channel, I would say. Earlier, I did not know that Gattu Chinky is also available in English, but now recently I came to know about this fact. And since then, I asked my kid that, okay, if you want to watch that, you have to watch it in English. So third practice is this. Fourth thing, whenever you are going out with your kid or whenever you are in the house with your kid, you try to speak more of English. It's not that you have fixed a time for practicing English and you are practicing with your kids. No, you have to communicate with your kids in English language only, whether you are inside the house or outside the house. This is also practical experience for me, because whenever I go out with my son, I try to speak in English only. I don't feel that what other people are thinking, because I have this environment of Hindi everywhere. So no one is going to speak in English with him. So it is my responsibility that I should speak with him in English language. If I will feel embarrassed, awkward while speaking in neighborhood, 100% he is going to learn the same. So you should have created that kind of environment which is surrounded by English. You can give him English TV. So when he's inside, he's watching TV, he's listening English. When you are talking to him, he is listening English. This is how they will be habitual of understanding this language as soon as possible. And try to make them fluent before they entered in the school. This is a plus point for you. You know, I still remember that at the age of 3, my kid started speaking in English, and he got admission in school when he was 3.5. So by the time he entered in the school, he understand everything. So that's a very amazing thing. So I feel these things are important and you should do that. The last thing you can do is you should always replace your Hindi newspaper with the English one. Recently, like I still remember, like it's been 4 or 5 months, we are taking newspaper regularly and it is in the English language. So I asked my son to read at least 2 to 4 lines from that English newspaper. Reading is really necessary and I really understand the importance of that reading. So reading newspaper is really important. If you are taking Hindi newspaper, you just need to replace it with the English one. It will help you to improve your English as well as your kids' English. There are headlines. Ask your children to read headlines. By the age of 5 or 5.5, a normal child starts reading. My kid started reading English when he was in the KG. Now he is in the 1st grade and he read amazing. I will show you one day in my short video, and I will show you that how he reads. So it is very important from the beginning. If you will give the environment of English language, 100% your child is going to speak fluent English by the age of 8 or 10. Trust me, I have seen it. So the most important thing is that you have to create your own environment for the kid. what is the problem with us? Why we can't speak fluent English? Because we did not get that environment at our time. So if we can do, because we have many resources available this time. Earlier it was not like that. We have TV, we can turn on YouTube in the TV. We don't need to even give phones to our kids, so we can just turn on the TV and start any English show, they can listen to that. We can communicate with them. We know very short sentences, we can learn it through Google and from YouTube, and we can talk to our kids. So it is all about your efforts. The more efforts you are putting into them, they are growing amazingly. Yes. So you need to put some hard work for your kid, then only it will reflect on your children. It's not that easy for a kid to learn everything on their own. Parents must have to support and give their time for their overall improvement. So this is it for today. My younger one is here. Okay, let me give you a practical example that whether he understands English or not. This is the remote. It is in my hand. I'm going to ask him to give me. Priyansh, give me the remote. Thank you. Priyansh, what should I ask him? Okay, go. Priyansh, go and get that toy. Go and get that toy. Yes. Give me the toy. Give me the toy. Give me. Thank you, my children. Thank you, bacha. Look, he is only 1 year old, but he understands everything. Like, give me, do it, don't do it. He understands everything. Why? Because I'm speaking in English with him. So if you want your kids to be smart enough to understand the different languages, you have to make some efforts. And I'm making these efforts, and that's why I'm not getting time. Oh my bacha. So this is it for today. If you like this video, do not forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel if you're new here, because I always share these wonderful tips for learning English, and I always motivate you guys. So do not forget to subscribe my channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.